All right, we got Josh Allen here at the podium.
Does having a chance to clinch a playoff spot ever get old now? Ever become old?
Does it ever become old? No, I mean, I think that's obviously to accomplish everyone's main goal, got to make the playoffs. And giving yourself a chance to win the lottery, that's your ticket right there, is getting into the playoffs. So I honestly don't know what the chances of us clinching or what. Like, I haven't looked any of that up. All we're focused on is trying to put a good week together and a good game plan and play against a really good team.
You need to win, and Indy or Houston needs to lose.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think the main part there is us win. So again, no easy task every week in this league. I mean, everybody getting paid to do the same thing out there, and you know, this is a really, really good defense that we're about to face, and it's going to be all hands on deck.
Yeah, one of the best things I think Josh Allen over the years, and Sean McDermott having kind of coached him up as well, they do a really good job about keeping it 1 week at a time. The whole idea of like 1-0 each week, focused week to week. They don't get too high, they don't get too low with the wins or with the losses. Because trust me, we all know when they lose, Buffalo goes crazy. The sports talk goes crazy. Everybody wants to fire everybody. They don't get too high, they don't get too low. They keep it very even keel, right? This is just another game. It's just another week. It's not about clinching a playoff berth. It's not about, it's not about really anything other than just, going to Cleveland and taking care of business.
What you just said, you're not paying attention to too much outside.
Which, by the way, this is what New England Patriots fans used to refer to as the Patriot way, right? Do your job. Week to week, every week's different. Matchups are different. Some matchups are good for your team. Some matchups are bad. Like for Buffalo, for example, when we matched up against Houston, that was a bad matchup for us. But they don't get too high, they don't get too low. They keep that week-to-week mentality. I really do like that about the leadership of this team. Love that about Sean McDermott and his influence over the team. Love that about Josh Allen and his leadership over the team, and Brandon Beane. It's really a top-down philosophy. I do love the approach.
But Myles Garrett does have a chance at setting the all-time record. For you to be the quarterback, that record would need to be set against. Have you thought about it at all?
No, I haven't thought about it. I do like highlight tapes, but I don't like being a part of other people's highlight tapes. I mean, he's an absolutely tremendous football player. He's one of the greatest of all times.
Josh doesn't want to be on the poster.
He's a force to be reckoned with, and we got to be ready for everything that they can throw at us. But you have to be aware of where 95's at all times.
About his style.
Good point. Myles Garrett is the best defensive end in the NFL. Dominates in terms of pressuring the quarterback, sacking the quarterback. He's pretty much unblockable. This is great practice for us. This was a weakness for us against Houston. Houston was a team that was able to get a tremendous amount of pressure with just their front four. They did not have to bring exotic blitzes like you see Spagnuolo do in Kansas City when we get to the playoffs, things like that. Houston was able to bring it with Will Anderson with their front four. That's what Cleveland's going to be able to do. They're going to be able to pressure with their front four. This is a great practice run. How do we scheme it? Do we chip with the tight end? Do we shift the running game and run at Myles Garrett, or run a lot of duo straight, between center and guard, where you effectively just neutralize his ability to even pass rush? I think it could be a heavy running game. But Josh, this is good practice for Josh. Josh, you need to be able to throw the ball away, right? If the play's dead, if it's not there, throw it away. If you have to punt the ball, you have to punt the ball. It's not about style points, really. It's just about get this win, get in and get out, get the win. It's business. Take care of business. Don't throw a bunch of interceptions. If the play's breaking down, don't hold the ball. Throw it out of bounds. And go from there. It's good practice for we're going to see teams potentially like Denver and Houston in the playoffs. They've got great defenses, great front fours. There's going to be a lot of pressure on the quarterback. It's a great practice run.
Style of play, just what he's able to do.
I mean, he's the biggest guy out there. He's the fastest guy out there. His ability to get off blocks, his motor is higher than really anybody else
Talking
that
about
you'll
motor
ever
now.
play.
If he says he's got fast twitch
He
speed,
can
I'm
beat you
gonna.
with speed and power. I mean,
You know the draft lingo they
he's
always
just
use.
the all-around football player.
Got a high motor. He's got fast twitch speed.
Defense and Miles. Is there anything watching him a little bit extra closely that surprised you?
I wouldn't say him specifically. We all know how great he is, but he's not the only guy that they got. You know, they've got a really great unit. Got a really good secondary. You know, 2 of the top corners in the league. They got one of the best rookies playing their linebacker position. So yeah, you got to be, like I said, all hands on deck, and it's going to take every single guy to go out there and accomplish what we need to accomplish.
Can you put into perspective, you know, what these 8 years have meant to you here in Buffalo, and how you've grown up, and how you compute before and after and during games?
You know, I gotta be honest. Just as a fan, this is one of the things I really, and I don't know if the players like it either. I really can't stand the questions that try to get to like the emotions. You know, can you put it into perspective? You know, just in the way of growing up, and you've been here for 8 years. Like, look, it's not a love story. This is a guy that he's going to make hundreds of millions of dollars over his career, and he honestly, like, we need to be less emotionally connected to the players, because it's a sport. It's a professional sport. Players are going to come and go. Players are going to have to perform, or they're going to have to go. And the whole like, hey, let's get into the emotions, it's kind of stupid. I hate it when the media does that. Look, if it's right after a ball game, right after a big ball game, and amazing things happen, like, okay, you want to grab the emotions of the moment there, like post-game press conference, I get it. But, like, come on, man. You're asking him about, like, when he was a kid growing up and the last 8 years in Buffalo, and how does he feel and his emotions and feelings. Like, really honestly, a lot of fans feel like they could do without that nonsense. You can do better. Buffalo media, you need to do better. It's really stupid. I think you can see it. Watch his expression. Watch how he answers the question. It's like he can't really. He's like, seriously, this is what you're asking me?
299 touchdowns, and now being an expected one. That into perspective.
I mean. Yeah, I guess it's like the evolution of life, and I consider this place my home.
Why are you asking me this?
It's where I've done a lot of growing
it's my
up,
home.
and
Look, you can't ask. Players are going to say this is what he thinks you want to hear. Buffalo's not his home. He's from California. The guy makes hundreds of millions of dollars. The minute the season ends in the playoffs, he's on a jet with his Hollywood wife, and they're going to Italy, or they're going somewhere in the world, right? Like, you got to stop with the Buffalo nostalgia, okay? You can do better. You can ask better questions than that.
it's a place that I'll raise a family here. It's really cool.
Congratulations. Thank you. Could you there's no way you could envision that in 2018. If you were
Yeah, I mean, envisioning it 2010, I was just trying to, figure out protections and how to throw the ball correctly, and we've come a long way. Obviously, it's been a small army helping me, and there's so many different people in my life that I'm thankful for and owe a lot of credit to. But yeah, I mean, we're still continuing trying to work on becoming the best quarterback that I can be, and I feel like each week I still find new ways that I can be better, and it's obviously up to me to go out there and make adjustments and continue to progress.
When you talk about growing over that period of time, what has Dion Dawkins meant to you over all these years?
I mean, he's been my my rock, I guess, right? Left.
What a joke. See what I'm talking about? He doesn't know what to say. He's like, he's been my rock, I guess. What do you want to say? I want to know what love is. Like, what do you want him to do? What has Dion Dawkins meant to you? Imagine this is like, imagine you're getting interviewed at your job. Your job where you make, you're a journalist and you make $80,000 a year. And they ask you, this guy over here that like, holds the camera for you when you do your video shoot. And they say, oh, what does it mean to have that cameraman with you all these years? And how do you feel? Can you imagine? It's like, just put the shoe on the other foot and you'll hear how stupid you sound. Like to fans outside of your little media bubble. Like, your questions are dumb. You do better. The Buffalo media can do better than this. This is weak.
Tackle, one of the guys that I can rely on, every single day. The energy that he always brings, the personality, it's always been the same person. And he goes out there and he's one of the best, if not the best, left tackle in football. And we got a big task ahead of us this week on that left side, but no one that I would rely on more than him. And I feel like he's a guy that I fully trust.
Josh, what have you seen from Matt Milano the last month or so in practice? He continues to kind of build up, get back to where he was.
Yeah, I mean, he continues just to work hard. Obviously, his road over the last few years, it's been a long one. It's been.
Here we go again. How do you feel, Josh, about Matt Milano and his journey? Matt Milano plays defense, okay? He's not a defensive coordinator. He's not a linebackers coach. He doesn't really want to comment. He's just going to give you some cliche answer. He doesn't want to comment about guys on the other side of the ball. He plays quarterback. He's on offense. His focus, his meetings, his journey to become better has to do with the offensive side of the ball. How do you feel about Matt Milano and everything he's overcome? Seriously? That's the best question you could come up with in your team meeting this week?
Some ups and downs. We're just happy he's out there playing Matt Milano style football and helping our defense.
We're just happy he's playing
helping
Matt
us win games.
Milano style
Josh, going off
football.
the Trey White, the interception outside, just him being back in the team. What does he mean to this team?
Yeah, I think, again, I talk about personalities and guys in this locker room that truly love each other, and he's no exception. He's a guy that's boisterous in the locker room, has a lot of fun with his teammates. He shows a lot of love to everybody in the locker room. And then again, he works extremely hard. He's always one of the last guys out on the football field working on his craft, and it's good to see him, obviously wearing the red, white, and blue again, but playing well because we're going to need that going forward.
It's a little bit like Moro's question with the playoffs and how many times you guys have been. I'm sure there are common themes to the playoff teams, but there's probably also differences. Is there any difference that stands out about this team, maybe in particular to some of the years past?
I feel like this team throughout the season, we've been pretty battle tested in terms of being in some close games and some tight games, and we've found ways to win some. We've lost a couple, but I feel like we've learned a lot from those losses. But this is an extremely tight unit. We do practice what we preach when we say we love each other and we care about each other and we don't want to let each other down when we're on the football field.
With the downfield passing against the Patriots, it changed so much first half to second half. I know there was a lot that goes into it, but I want to say it was like 2.2 air yards to 9.4 or something. Just what went into that, getting the downfield game going later in the game?
Yeah, guys, just trusting what Joe's calling, myself trusting my feet and my eyes, and giving guys opportunities to go make some plays.
Okay, translation. The last part there is the real part. Giving guys opportunities to go make some plays, right? They're down 24-7 at the half, right? They played conservative vanilla football for the first 2 quarters of the game because that's who they are, unfortunately. They don't come out like dogs. They don't come out trying to dominate the game, although they could. Honestly, they could do it to Cleveland. Cleveland doesn't even belong on the field with us really overall. It'll probably be a close game because they'll come out vanilla for the first 2 quarters and then maybe they'll take some chances in the second. That's the difference. They're down 24-7 at the half. It's time to get going. That's the difference right there. I don't know. Is that the best question you could come up with in your team meeting this week?
Plays, and you saw that in the second half.
In every game, however the defense allows, but what can happen when that downfield passing game is going?
It forces teams to really think about, every inch of turf out on that field. When we can get the deep, again, that's when you're a pretty dangerous offense, is when you can run the ball, you can attack the short and intermediate game, and then you also have to worry about some of the deep throws. And we're still working on that. I'm still working on that, and it's something that I'm looking forward to continue working on this week. And if the opportunities present themselves, we have to take advantage of them.
You guys are down 24-7. You come out in the second half. You start to kind of get back into the game. What's Sean McDermott like in moments like that?
Yeah, I think he fully trusts his team. He really allows us to have the keys to drive this ship, and he's very calm. But he's also very supporting. I would say, and going out there and giving us, like I said, the reins to go be ourselves and play the game of football free.
Like being back in the MVP conversation.
I'm just trying to do my job, just trying to find a way to get in the playoffs. Yeah.
It's that New England Patriots philosophy, right? Do your job. Focus on each week. Don't get too high. Don't get too low.
Going off of Matt's questions, one thing to sort of be battle tested and have the mental toughness to believe you can come back. It's another thing to sort of have the evidence that you can point to that you guys have done that before. How beneficial is that going forward, especially as you approach playoff time where you know a lot of these games are going to be those tight sort of battles?
Yeah, and I'd say too, the teams that I feel like we've done it against are really good football teams. And you're going to need that going in the playoffs, because once you get in the playoffs, you know, everybody's kind of on even playing field, and everybody's good, right? Like they're all feel like they're playing at a high level, and it's no different for us. We want to feel like we're peaking as we're going into the playoffs, and you know, it takes everybody in this locker room, takes everybody in this facility to feel like we're doing that.
Right now,
I feel like we're close. I feel like we've still got some things to work on. Obviously, want to start faster in these games. But yeah, I think we're playing good football right now. I think there's still some more stuff that we can unlock.
No, you were
This week,
good.
Joe said, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I couldn't hear you, I'm sorry.
That's okay, you go
Joe
first.
said that you live in a world now where defenses are so complex. If you just go through your progressions, you'll be okay. You don't have to worry about post-snap, all the different things that happen. Have you seen that kind of where defenses are just trying so many different things? You just have to kind of trust your guys to be where they're supposed to be and go through your progression to get there?
Yeah, I mean, you can have a plan going into the game and watch every evidence of film that you want to watch, and once you get into the game and defenses you know, are doing different things and you haven't seen on film, and kind of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. And I feel like that's when, honestly, when we play at our best is when we're not really caring so much about what they're doing. We're calling our plays, and we're doing what we need to do and focusing more on ourselves than what they're doing, because again, we got guys that are extremely smart that can find spots in zones. When we can run the ball extremely well with James Cook, it opens up so many different opportunities for us. And yeah, I mean, I think it's just trusting the confines of what Joe and the staff have put in throughout the week, and just going out there and executing each and every
Good
game.
question, Sal.
Did
That
you
was
guys
a good
always know
question.
you were going to make the announcement in the newsletter, or how did you decide to go that route?
It just kind of came about.
This woman, all she wants to do is ask him about his emotions, about the announcement. Like, come on, it's a football press conference. Like, we get, he's having a baby. Like, you know, do you want his wife to come up on the podium and have some sweetheart conversations with you? Like, this is you know, what are we doing here? Do better.
Awesome. Thank you guys.